First contact in the debris. Commander Nadia Harrison stared through the viewport of her rescue vessel, watching debris float past like metallic snowflakes in the void. The Xylos Belt was where careers came to die, and after 15 years of distinguished service in the Earth Defense Force, this is where she found herself, searching for salvage and responding to distress calls that were usually automated echoes from long-abandoned ships. The scanner's sudden chirp broke through the silence of her cabin. Nadia leaned forward, her dark eyes narrowing at the readout. A distress signal, but something about the frequency seemed off. It wasn't following any known human or allied species protocols. "Computer, analyze signal pattern," she commanded, already plotting an intercept course. "Signal contains unknown encoding. Quantum signature detected. Warning, signal characteristics suggest advanced technology of unknown origin." Nadia's hands tightened on the controls. Unknown origin meant either first contact or pirates with stolen tech. Either way, it was more excitement than she'd seen in months. As she approached the source, the debris field grew denser. Through the chaos of twisted metal and frozen gases, she spotted it, a ship unlike anything she'd ever seen. Its hull seemed to ripple with an inner light, organic curves blending seamlessly with crystalline structures that sparkled in the starlight. "Life signs?" she asked, maneuvering carefully between the debris. "One detected. Weak but stable. Species unknown." Nadia suited up, checking her gear methodically. Standard rescue protocols called for waiting for backup when encountering unknown species, but out here in the belt, backup was hours away. Someone needed help, and that's what she did, protocol be damned. She made her way across to the alien vessel through a tether line, her magnetic boots clanking against the hull as she searched for an entry point. The ship's surface responded to her presence, a section seemingly dissolving to create an airlock. Inside, the air was breathable but thin. Emergency lighting pulsed along organic-looking corridors, leading her deeper into the vessel. She found the bridge, or what she assumed was the bridge, and there, suspended in a crystalline cocoon, was her first alien. The being was humanoid but clearly not human. Its skin was translucent, showing swirling patterns of bioluminescence beneath. Long, elegant limbs ended in six-fingered hands, and its face bore four eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. The alien's eyes opened as Nadia approached, all four focusing on her with startling intensity. Its mouth moved, producing sounds like crystal wind chimes. "I'm Commander Nadia Harrison," she said slowly, activating her universal translator. "I'm here to help." The alien's expression shifted, patterns of light rushing beneath its skin. The translator crackled, struggling to process the alien language before producing words. "I am ZYXVeth. Danger follows. Are you injured? Can you move?" The crystalline cocoon began to dissolve, and ZYXVeth attempted to stand but stumbled. Nadia caught them, surprised by how light they felt. "My ship, not far. We need to dash." A massive explosion rocked the vessel, sending them both sprawling. Through the viewport, Nadia saw three ships materialize from quantum space, sleek, predatory vessels marked with blood-red symbols. "They found me," ZYXVeth whispered, terror evident in their voice. "The collective. They cannot, must not." Another explosion hit, and warning lights flashed throughout the ship. They had minutes, maybe seconds, before the hull breached. "We're leaving," Nadia decided, helping ZYXVeth up. "Now." They made their way back through the corridors, each impact making the ship groan around them. Nadia's training took over, one foot in front of the other, steady breathing, ignore the fear. The alien leaned heavily against her, their skin pulsing with weak patterns of light. They reached the airlock just as the ship's artificial gravity failed. Nadia secured their tether and pulled them both across to her vessel, fighting against debris and the growing electromagnetic interference from the attacking ships. Inside her ship, Nadia strapped ZYXVeth into the medical bay and rushed to the bridge. The enemy vessels were closing in, their weapons charging. Computer, emergency quantum jump. Get us out of here. Warning, quantum drive not fully charged. Jump could result in significant damage. Another hit rocked the ship. Shield alerts blared. Just do it. The universe twisted around them as they jumped, the ship groaning in protest. When they emerged, they were deep in the asteroid field, temporarily hidden but far from safe. Nadia checked their status, shields at 40%, quantum drive offline, and their pursuers would certainly follow once they traced their quantum wake. She headed back to check on her passenger, finding Zyxveth conscious but clearly in distress. "Why are they after you?" she asked, administering emergency medical treatment as best she could with her limited knowledge of alien physiology. Zyxveth's skin rippled with patterns of deep blue and violet. "I carry knowledge, terrible knowledge. About humanity. About everything. They must not take it." "What knowledge?" Zyxveth reached out with one six-fingered hand, touching Nadia's temple. Images flooded her mind, stars dying, civilizations falling, and a truth so profound it made her gasp. "Now you understand," Zyxveth whispered. "Why they hunt. Why they must not succeed." Nadia stared at the alien, her world suddenly much larger and more dangerous than she'd ever imagined. "What do we do?" "We run. We fight. And if necessary." Zyxveth's four eyes fixed on her with intense focus, "We die. But they cannot have what I know." The ship's sensors began to wail. The collective had found them. And this was just the beginning. Whispers of the stars. The collective ships loomed in the sensor display like hungry predators. Nadia's hands flew across the controls, weaving their damaged vessel through the asteroid field. Behind her, Zyxveth slumped in the medical chair, their bioluminescent patterns growing dimmer. "Status report," Nadia commanded, narrowly avoiding a collision with a spinning rock formation. "Hull integrity at 62%. Quantum drive still offline. Detecting multiple quantum signatures pursuing." A blast from the lead ship grazed their shields, causing the cabin to shudder. Nadia dove deeper into the field, using the larger asteroids as cover. Her mind raced with the images Zyxveth had shared, civilizations burning, entire species vanishing, and at the center of it all, a truth about humanity that seemed impossible. "They're hurting us," Zyxveth whispered, their translator making the words sound like breaking glass. "Toward the gravity well." Nadia checked her sensors and cursed. They were right, the collective ships weren't trying to destroy them, they were forcing them toward a massive planetoid's gravitational pull. "Why aren't they just shooting us down?" she asked, executing a dangerous roll between two colliding asteroids. "They need me alive. The knowledge cannot be extracted from a corpse." Zyxveth's patterns shifted to a deep purple. "But you they will kill." Nadia felt a strange tingling in her temples, an echo of the connection they'd shared earlier. "There's more, isn't there? Something you're not telling me. When I shared the knowledge, it changed you. Started a process. Even now, your neural patterns are adapting, evolving." Another blast rocked the ship. Warning lights flashed as their shields dropped to 20%. Nadia could feel it now, enhanced awareness of their surroundings, like she could sense the very trajectories of the asteroids around them. "The collective knows this," Zyxveth continued. "They will extract the knowledge from both of us now. Then destroy all evidence." Nadia's vision blurred momentarily, new sensations flooding her consciousness. She could feel the ship as if it were an extension of her body, could almost see the quantum waves rippling through space around them. "Computer, how long until quantum drive restoration?" "Estimated 12 minutes to minimal function." "Too long." The collective ships were closing in, their weapons charging for another barrage. Nadia could feel their hostile intent like a pressure in her mind. There might be a way, ZYXVeth said, their voice stronger now. My species, we can share more than knowledge. We can share strength. What do you mean? A fusion of life force. It would give us the power to escape, but... They hesitated. It cannot be undone. You would never be fully human again. The ship shuddered as another blast hit them. Shield failure warnings blared. Nadia made her decision. Do it. ZYXVeth pressed their hand against the back of Nadia's neck. Energy surged between them, memories, sensations, pure life force flowing like lightning through their connected minds. Nadia gasped as her consciousness expanded. She could see quantum space itself, could feel the very fabric of reality around them. The ship, ZYXVeth guided. Feel it. Become it. Nadia's awareness merged with the vessel's systems. She could sense every circuit, every power conduit. The quantum drive wasn't just machinery anymore, it was a living part of her. Now, ZYXVeth whispered. Jump. Nadia reached out with her mind, bypassing the damaged systems entirely. Space twisted around them as she forced open a quantum tunnel through pure will. The ship leaped forward, reality bending and stretching like taffy. They emerged in deep space, far from the asteroid field. The collective ships were nowhere in sight, but Nadia knew they would follow. They always followed. She turned to check on ZYXVeth and froze. Her reflection in the viewport showed her eyes now held the same inner light as the aliens, and beneath her skin, faint patterns of bioluminescence were beginning to form. What's happening to me? You are becoming something new, ZYXVeth said softly. Neither human nor QXTAL, but something in between. And now you truly understand why the collective hunts us. Nadia looked at her hands, watching the patterns shift beneath her skin. The knowledge they shared wasn't just information, it was power. The power to evolve, to transcend. The power to change everything. They're afraid, she whispered. Afraid of what we might become. Yes. Because together, we represent something they cannot control. Cannot predict. ZYXVeth's patterns pulsed with determination. We represent change. Warning alerts interrupted them. New quantum signatures were appearing, bigger ships, heavily armed. The collective is sending their elite hunters, ZYXVeth said. They will not stop until they have us. Nadia flexed her new abilities, feeling the ship respond to her thoughts. Then we better make sure they never catch us. She could feel it now, the truth that made the collective so desperate to find them. Humanity wasn't just another species in the galaxy. They were catalysts, capable of combining with other species to create something entirely new. Something revolutionary. And revolution was exactly what the collective feared most. Plot a course, she said, her voice stronger, more confident. We need to find others like us. The hunt was on, but this time, they weren't just running. They were evolving. Shadows of pursuit. Deep in uncharted space, Nadia watched her skin pulse with newly formed patterns of light. 3 days had passed since their escape from the collective, and the changes were accelerating. She could now access the ship's systems with a thought, navigate quantum space by instinct, and sense approaching vessels long before they appeared on sensors. The transformation progresses faster than expected, ZYXVeth observed, their 4 eyes studying her with concern. Your human physiology is remarkably adaptive. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Nadia asked, adjusting their course through a dense radiation field. She could feel the radiation now, like a tingling dance across her enhanced senses. Both. You grow stronger, but the collective will sense it. They are already ZYXVeth stopped, their patterns flaring with alarm. Above us. A massive ship dropped out of quantum space directly overhead, its hull bristling with weapons. Nadia didn't need sensors to feel the hostility radiating from it. Collective worship eternal vigil to unidentified vessel, a cold voice transmitted. You carry a fugitive and contaminated human specimen. Surrender immediately. Nadia's hands tightened on the controls. Contaminated? Is that what they call evolution? They fear what they cannot control, HFY said. And you, Nadia Harrison, are becoming very difficult to control. The warship launched fighters, sleek vessels moving to surround them. Nadia could sense their pilots' minds, focused, determined, but also afraid. They knew what she was becoming. Last warning, the warship transmitted. Surrender or be destroyed. Nadia closed her eyes, reaching out with her new abilities. She could feel quantum space calling to her, but something else caught her attention, a hidden pocket of reality, tucked away in the radiation field. Hold on, she said to HFY, and Dove. The ship responded to her thoughts, twisting through impossible angles as fighter beams sliced through space around them. Nadia guided them deeper into the radiation field, following an instinct she didn't fully understand. There, HFY pointed. A quantum fold. But how did you dash? I can feel it, Nadia said, pushing the ship faster. Like a song in the back of my mind. They plunged into the quantum fold just as the warship fired its main cannon. Space rippled around them, and they emerged into something else. A vast structure floated before them, ancient and alien, its surface covered in the same crystalline patterns as HFY's ship. But it wasn't abandoned. Dozens of vessels were docked along its length, and Nadia could sense minds inside, minds like hers, neither fully human nor fully alien. The haven, HFY whispered in awe. We found it. What is this place? A sanctuary. For others like us. The ones who chose to evolve. They docked at an open port, and as they stepped onto the station, Nadia saw them, humans and aliens of various species, all showing signs of transformation. Some glowed like HFY, others had different changes, but all radiated power and purpose. A tall figure approached them, his skin rippling with golden light. Welcome to Haven, Commander Harrison. We've been expecting you. How do you know my name? We felt your awakening, he said. I am Director Renlo, once human like yourself. Now, something more. The collective is hunting us, Nadia warned. They always hunt us, Renlo smiled. But they cannot find this place. The quantum fold is hidden by technology even they cannot detect. Why? Why are they so afraid of us? Renlo's expression grew serious. Because we represent the next step. Not just for humanity, but for all species. The ability to combine, to evolve, to become something greater than the sum of our parts. The collective believes in purity, in keeping species separate and controlled. We believe in unity through diversity. Warning alarms blared throughout the station. A technician ran up to them, her skin crackling with nervous energy. Director, they followed their quantum wake. The collective found us. Renlo's patterns darkened. Impossible. Our shields dash. They have a new weapon, HFY interrupted. The knowledge I carry, they used it to create something terrible. The station shuddered as the first impacts hit their outer shields. Through the viewport, Nadia watched in horror as multiple collective warships emerged from quantum space. We need to evacuate, Renlo ordered. Get everyone to the escape vessels. But Nadia stood frozen, a new awareness flooding her consciousness. She could feel the quantum fold technology, could understand its principles with her enhanced mind. And she could feel something else, a way to use it as more than just a hideout. No, she said, her voice firm. We don't run. Not this time. What are you suggesting? They hunt us because we're scattered, divided. But here, together. She looked at HFY, who nodded in understanding. Together we're strong enough to fight back. The quantum fold, HFY added. With our combined abilities, we could turn it into a weapon. Renlo studied them both, his patterns shifting thoughtfully. You're talking about war. I'm talking about survival, Nadia countered. And maybe something more. A chance to show the galaxy there's another way. A better way. Another impact rocked the station. They had minutes at most to decide. The collective calls us contaminated, Nadia continued, her skin glowing brighter with determination. I say we show them what evolution really means. Around them, other transformed beings gathered, their combined power humming like electricity in the air. The time for hiding was over. The real revolution was about to begin, version 3 of 3. Breaking point. The Haven station trembled under continuous collective fire. Inside the central control chamber, Nadia stood with ZYXVeth and dozens of other transformed beings, their combined power pulsing through the station's systems like living electricity. The quantum fold technology, Nadia explained, her voice resonating with new authority. It doesn't just hide us. It can change the very fabric of space around us. Her skin blazed with intricate patterns as she connected with the station's systems. Through her enhanced senses, she could feel every circuit, every power conduit, and most importantly, the quantum fold generators that kept them hidden. The risk is enormous, Renlo warned, his golden patterns flickering with concern. If we fail, we lose everything. And if we run, we lose anyway, Nadia countered. She turned to ZYXVeth. Show them what you showed me. They need to understand what we're fighting for. ZYXVeth moved to the center of the chamber, their 4 eyes glowing with intense purpose. The knowledge they carried flowed out to everyone present, visions of possible futures, of species joining together, evolving, becoming something greater than they ever could alone. The collective fears this future, ZYXVeth explained. They believe evolution must be controlled, contained. But they're wrong. Evolution is freedom. Another blast rocked the station. Warning lights flashed as shields dropped to critical levels. Multiple breaches detected, the station's AI reported. Collective boarding parties entering through sectors 7, 12, and 15. Nadia could feel them, hostile minds moving through the station's corridors, armed with weapons designed to neutralize transformed beings. But she could also feel something else, determination and hope from every transformed being around her. Link with me, she commanded, extending her awareness. All of you. Together. One by one, they joined their consciousness with hers. Humans who had merged with various alien species, aliens who had embraced change, all of them connecting into a singular purpose. The power was overwhelming, like touching a star. Director, a technician called out, her crystalline skin sparking with excitement. The quantum fold is responding to our combined energy. It's growing. Through their linked minds, Nadia guided them, showing them how to reach into quantum space itself. The fold generators hummed with unprecedented power as reality began to bend around the station. Collective forces burst into the chamber, weapons raised. But they froze at the sight before them, dozens of transformed beings, glowing with combined power, their consciousness merged into something their sensors couldn't comprehend. Stop, the collective commander ordered. You don't understand what you're doing. No, Nadia replied, her voice echoing with the power of their unified minds. You don't understand what we've become. The quantum fold expanded, enveloping the entire station in a bubble of altered space. Through their combined consciousness, they could see the collective ships outside, trying desperately to break through. Now, Nadia commanded. Push. Their merged power surged through the station's systems. The quantum fold rippled outward like a shockwave, catching the collective fleet in its wake. Space itself twisted around their ships, trapping them in a pocket of altered reality. You cannot stop evolution, Nadia declared, addressing the trapped collective forces. You cannot stop change. But you can choose to be part of it. The collective commander stared at them, his weapons forgotten. What are you? We are the future, HFY answered. All of us, together. And you have a choice to make. Through their linked minds, they shared the truth, not just with the collective forces in the chamber, but with every ship in the fleet. They showed them the potential of unified evolution, the power of combined knowledge, the beauty of transformation. Your weapons cannot stop this, Nadia said softly. Your fear cannot contain it. The only question is, will you continue fighting a futile battle, or will you open your minds to new possibilities? The chamber fell silent. In that moment of stillness, something shifted. Nadia could feel it, doubt creeping into the collective soldiers' minds, their rigid beliefs beginning to crack. A young collective officer stepped forward, lowering his weapon. His hands trembled as he reached up to remove his helmet, revealing eyes that held a glimmer of understanding. We were told you were a contamination, he said. But this is evolution, Nadia finished. Natural, beautiful, and unstoppable. More soldiers lowered their weapons. On the trapped ships outside, commanders began standing down. The transformation they had fought so hard to prevent was already beginning in their own minds, the realization that change was not an enemy to be feared, but an opportunity to be embraced. The Haven station hummed with power, no longer just a hiding place, but a beacon of revolution. And as Nadia stood with her transformed family, their consciousness still linked, she knew this was just the beginning. The real work of changing the galaxy was about to start, version 4 of 5. Beyond the Void. 3 months after the standoff at Haven, Nadia stood before the newly formed Council of Unity, her transformed appearance now a symbol of hope rather than fear. The chamber, built from a fusion of human and alien architecture, housed representatives from both the former collective and the transformed communities. The integration process continues, she reported, her bioluminescent patterns flowing with calm confidence. Former collective worlds are opening their borders. More volunteers come forward each day, seeking to join the transformation. Beside her, HFY surveyed the gathered representatives with all 4 eyes. And the knowledge? Have you shared it with them? Carefully, Nadia nodded. As you taught me. The truth about humanity's potential, about all species' potential, must be understood gradually. The chamber's atmosphere shifted as a tall figure entered, Admiral Venn, once the highest-ranking collective commander, now transformed himself. His skin shimmered with newly formed patterns of light, his former rigid bearing replaced by fluid grace. The last resistance cells have surrendered, he announced. They saw what we've become. What we can all become together. Nadia remembered the moment Venn had made his choice, there in Haven's control chamber. His transformation had inspired thousands of other collective members to follow, creating a cascade of change that reshaped the political landscape of known space. There are still challenges, Renlo cautioned, his golden patterns swirling thoughtfully. Not everyone is ready for transformation. Some fear losing their identity, their culture. They don't lose anything, Nadia countered. They gain everything. We're not erasing who we are, we're expanding it. Every transformation is unique, every combination bringing new insights, new possibilities. She approached the chamber's central holographic display, activating it with a thought. Images appeared, transformed beings working together across the galaxy, new technologies born from combined knowledge, peaceful exchanges between once hostile species. Look at what we've accomplished in just 3 months, she continued. Medical breakthroughs from combined biological understanding. Quantum technology advances from merged consciousness. Art and music that captures experiences no single species could express alone. HFY moved to join her, their patterns synchronizing in a display of unity. The knowledge I carried was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to be shared, to spark this very revolution. Humanity's unique ability to adapt, to merge with other species, wasn't a mistake. It was the next step in galactic evolution. The chamber doors opened again, admitting a group of newcomers, representatives from species that had previously stayed neutral in the conflict. Nadia could sense their curiosity, their cautious hope. "We've come to learn," their spokesperson announced. "To understand what you offer." Nadia smiled, remembering her own journey from suspicious rescue commander to transformed leader. "What we offer is choice. The choice to remain as you are, or to become something more. The choice to join a community that celebrates diversity rather than fears it." She extended her awareness, letting them feel a fraction of what transformation offered: the expanded consciousness, the deep connection to quantum space, the ability to understand reality on levels their current forms couldn't comprehend. The collective tried to maintain order through separation and control, Admiral Venn added. "We now know true order comes from integration and growth." A soft chime sounded, more ships arriving in the system. Nadia could sense them, dozens of vessels carrying beings from across the galaxy, all drawn by stories of transformation and unity. "It's happening faster than we expected," Renlo observed. "The change is spreading." "Because it's natural," Nadia replied. "What we fought so hard to protect, what the collective feared so much, was simply the next step in our shared evolution. We're not just combining bodies and minds, we're combining dreams, hopes, potential." She turned to the assembled council, her patterns bright with purpose. "The real work is just beginning. We have to guide this change, ensure it brings out the best in every species. We have to prove that diversity makes us stronger, that unity doesn't mean uniformity." "And the future?" someone asked. "What do we become?" Nadia shared a knowing look with ZYXVeth. In their merged consciousness, they had seen glimpses of possibilities, beings of pure energy and thought, civilizations spanning dimensions, understanding that transcended physical form. "We become what we choose to become," she answered. Together. The chamber hummed with shared purpose as representatives from across the galaxy, both transformed and untransformed, began discussing the path forward. The revolution that had started with a simple rescue in deep space had blossomed into something greater than anyone could have imagined. And somewhere in quantum space, reality itself seemed to smile at the children who had finally learned to embrace their own evolution. The end.